Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
It's a hot, sunny Sunday in San Diego, made all the more special by it being another Padres Military Sunday. Marines are with us, and so are the veterans honored before the game today. We'll be talking about them throughout the contest, all ages from all combat stations, and they're back now in the public eye, and we want to support them 110%. Petco Park the scene. And it's the final game of the three-game series, the San Francisco Giants and the San Diego Padres. And good afternoon, everyone. Happy Sunday to you, Mark Grant.
You too, Professor.
And here we go. The Padres have to slow down this San Francisco Giant machine, scoring more runs on the road than any team in baseball. And they've proven it here. 18 runs in the first two games.
Yeah, the pitching's got to step forward. Clayton Richards got to take him deep into the ball game, shorten the game to the bullpen, and also get some multiple runs like the Giants have been putting up crooked numbers. They need to get out early against this Giants team to avoid the sweep.
And Clayton Richard, going for his 10th win, will try to do that. Meanwhile, what a month of August for Chase Headley. He continues to be the hottest hitter in all of baseball. Most home runs, most RBIs of anyone in the National or American League.
And, Dick, you've always made the good point about the trade deadline in Chase Headley. Once that point came and went, Chase Headley just went off. What a great, pleasant surprise for Chase Headley. He works the count. The numbers are coming through big time with the home runs, but the big key, I think, is getting on base for Chase Headley. In the month of August, he's driven in 38% of the runs for the San Diego Padres. A big key, get on for Chase Headley. Extra base hit, home run results in runs for these Padres.
Now, how do you figure that, though? The home run count, 20 home runs for the year, by far the best in his career. Is it just because he's relieved that he wasn't traded?
I think that's a good point, but when you insert Carlos Quentin in the lineup, when Chase Headley's up at the plate, you've got CQ on deck. The pitcher's thinking, you know what? I can't walk Chase Headley because there's more damage on deck. Sure, Chase Headley is getting better pitches to hit, I believe, and I think Chase would agree with that point.
Well, it was a wild scoring game last night. 8-7, San Francisco prevailed despite a rally in the ninth by the Padres. Will there be more wild action today on this Sunday? Whoa! Hang on to your seatbelts, folks. It's Sunday baseball from Petco, and it indeed could be another wild one. A brilliant sunny Sunday in downtown San Diego, from the park at the park into Petco Park. Another good crowd on hand. Final game of this 3-game series. Bruce Bochy's Giants leading the Dodgers by a half game in the National League West as we start today. Bochy has set his lineup. It's exactly the same other than the pitcher last night. Pagan, Scudero, Sandoval, Posey, Pence, Arias, who was 3 for 5 with a home run, Belt, Christian, and then Vogelsong. Clayton Richard ready to go. Fast working left-hander starts the game with a strike. Angel Pagan hitting .280, and there's Richard's numbers. Padres do not have a pitcher in double figures in the win column. Richard going for that 10th win. And he's been outstanding at home. 3-0 at Petco the last 3 starts. 1.85 ERA. And he leads the major leagues in groundouts. He's way ahead of the pack. Good cut by Pagan.
You know, I think it's also a mindset for Clayton Richard as he toes the slab today at Petco Park. Like hitters, they feel comfortable hitting at certain venues. Well, the numbers this month for Clayton Richard have been outstanding. Hope he can keep it going this afternoon to avoid the sweep.
28-year-old former Wolverine from Lafayette, Indiana, making his 26th start. That means he's tied for first in the major leagues. He's taken the ball every turn. The umpires today, Brian Onora behind the plate with Fairchild, Hallion, and Marquez on the bases. Pagan with Scudero on deck, and the 1-2 pitch. Takes it inside. The Giants watching the scoreboard. The Dodgers are in Atlanta, and they're leading 2-0 in the 8th inning. Sharply hit right at Cabrera. The shortstop across to Alonso, and there's one away. Padres defense. Outfield, Quinton in left, Venable in right. Maven will patrol center. Headley, Cabrera, Amarista, Alonso from third around to first. John Baker will handle the tosses of Clayton Richard behind the plate. Here's Marco Scudero. Mark Loretta talking about Scudero's addition to this ball club, and in the month that he's played in San Francisco, hitting .333 with a couple of homers, 18 runs batted in. That's since being acquired by trade from Colorado at the deadline. 2-0.
Trying to find that final piece of the puzzle as you go into August and September, right? The Giants have always seemed to get that one player to get him to the finish line.
It's Cody Ross,
exactly,
2 years ago, that helped him all the way to the World Series.
Boy, was he on fire when they acquired him.
And they admit that they took Ross because they were afraid the Padres would take him. And the Padres battling to make the playoffs themselves. If you recall, came down to the final game in San Francisco. 3-1 to Scudero.
Hunter Pence, one of those pieces that the Giants are hoping for.
Full count now. Pence, who started slowly with the Giants but had a big game last night. That'll make it to the crowd.
You see that Clayton Richard is pounding that strike zone. You take a look at the Fox tracks brought to you by our good friends at Southland Technology. Yeah, he's putting the hitters on the defensive. Sure, the count is full here, but he's working ahead.
Fly ball to right. Plenty of room out there for Venable. Coasts back to collect the second out. And time now for our Lexus keys to the game. Mark?
First one is Operation Shutdown 2-3-4. The Giant hitters 2 through 4. They've been difficult for Clayton Richard through his career. So today, Scudero, Sandoval, Posey, got to contain them. They're hitting .357. And thank a veteran. Dick, you talked about it in our open today. The Padres are honoring the military by saluting our veterans. Hey, join them by taking time to appreciate the sacrifices that they made. Thank a veteran. When you see one, say thank you. Extend your hand and wish them well and appreciate what they've done for us.
Absolutely. Here's Pablo Sandoval, the switch hitting third baseman, hitting right at 300. 8 homers, 7 of those from the left side. 2-0. Posey on deck.
Padres having their troubles beating the Giants the last couple of years. Popped up. Shallow right. Venable, no sunglasses. Well, I guess he does. So Venable gets a couple of the outs. The Giants go in order in the first.
Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by AT&T, the largest 4G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Petco, where the healthy pets go. So the Padres and Giants conclude this 3-game series with the Giants having won 19 of their last 25 against San Diego. Padres trying to snap a 5-game losing streak, and Bud Black has set his lineup. And here they go. Everth Cabrera will lead it off at shortstop. Will Venable in right. Chase Headley and Carlos Quentin in the middle of the lineup, both with home runs last night in the 8-7 defeat. Yonder Alonso. Alexei Amarista drops to the 6th spot, with Maben and Baker hitting 7 and 8, and Richard 9th. Ryan Vogelsong, last year an All-Star. Came out of nowhere in spring training last year. He was a non-roster player. Pitched well enough to make the squad. Wound up being an all-star. Won 13, lost 7. That's after he spent 3 years in Japan, out of baseball with surgery. I mean, it's a storied career. And at age 34, he becomes an all-star. 35 now. And his first pitch in there to Everth Cabrera. What makes him tough?
It has just clicked for Ryan Vogelsong. Command of the strike zone, pound of the strike zone. And quite frankly, Dick, with how old he is, he's probably gotten to the point where he says, what do I have to lose? Right? And he throws a fastball, curve, cutter, and a change. Low 90s. Free and easy delivery. Not a violent delivery by any stretch.
Good size, 6'4" and 214.
Yeah, there comes to a point where hitters, position players, pitchers, you know, you bang your head up against the wall for so long, and then all of a sudden something clicks.
2-1 to Cabrera.
And my head's getting pretty sore because I'm still banging it up against the wall trying to figure it out.
But doesn't it feel good when you stop? 2-1. Long look for Vogelsong. Finally into the windup. And it's 3-1.
Oof. Yeah, the right-hander got squeezed on that pitch. That was a darn good pitcher's pitch. And on a day like today, Mr. Enberg, that's the kind of lid you need.
You bet. A lot of ladies with their bonnets today. Temperature in the 80s. Unusually warm for San Diego this week.
I saw that the Giraffes were back at the ball game today.
Oh, I'm pleased to hear that. 3 balls and a strike. And the count goes full.
There they are.
I didn't mention when we went on safari to Kenya, of all the animals, the wildlife, giraffes became my favorite.
Really?
They're magnificent.
Yeah.
And to watch them with that body go into a gallop.
For such a big animal, so graceful, I'm sure, when they get into that gallop.
Foul tip, and he's still alive. And then you can be out on safari and be one tree within acres, and it'll be a giraffe under that tree, and you don't see it until you're almost right on top of it, the way they camouflage themselves. You'd think an animal that big, long neck and all.
I thought you were going to say you see a lemonade stand there underneath that one tree.
You would.
How you doing?
Full count to Cabrera. A battle early. Venable and then Headley to follow. It's like Royal Ascot this Sunday at Petco. Ladies with their hats. And Cabrera battling away. Count remains full.
Yeah, get that pitch count up. Get it up there so Will Venable can have a look on deck. Chase Headley on that top step probably can't wait to get out to the on deck circle.
8th pitch of this duel between Vogelsong and Cabrera. Venable awaiting. And another foul.
Of the 8 pitches, only 2 have been out of the zone, according to Fox Tracks. That tells you something about Vogelsong. He's confident throwing his pitches in the zone, challenging the hitters, saying to himself, prove to me that you can hit my stuff. You better be pretty quick on that, big boy, because that thing is going to be down your wrist and down to your elbow really quickly.
It already is. Again, the 3-2. Went after ball 4. Clipped it upstairs. Cabrera a little upset with himself. He had himself a walk. But he's in a foul ball mode, and here comes the 10th pitch of this at bat. Pleased you're with us. And this Sunday, 3 more coming on the homestand. Pittsburgh tomorrow night, Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon. Yeah, what in the name of Luke Appling is going on here, huh?
Very good, Professor. Old aches and pains. Well, Everett Cabrera is being he's being a pain to Ryan Vogelsong this at bat.
It's got to be frustrating for Vogelsong, first man in the game. Come on.
Big key here, stick to your strength. I've always believed that. In an at bat like this as a pitcher, stick to your strength.
This even has the crowd starting to chuckle.
6 foul balls in a row off the bat of Cabrera.
Boy, if only this were cricket, that'd be
we'd be
6 times 6, 36 runs we'd have already.
We'd have a rally going.
Bruce Bochy, Poway resident, got his Giants in first. Another foul.
Tell you, Tony Patrica's down in that clubhouse in the umpire's attendant room and rubbing up some baseball. He's scrambling for the Rawlings baseballs down there. They're going to have to rub up some onions.
Did anyone tell management this was ball day, that we're going to give away baseballs at Petco Park? Cabrera spraying them around. 13th pitch of this encounter.
Lucky 13 maybe result in a knock for Cabrera.
Struck him out on a high fastball. 13 pitches to get Cabrera.
He stuck with his strength. It was the fastball. And remember, during the rest of the earlier pitches of the at-bat, he swung at some pitches up and out of the zone. So Vogelsong did just that. Stuck with the fastball and challenging Everett Cabrera.
Yeah, let's see how that impacts this first inning. Will Venable steps up. Strike 1. Venable with a curious season. He's hitting .270 on the road, but only .197 at home.
It is a conundrum.
Line drive to left field. That'll help that average. A solid single. And the Padres have the game's first hit. Look at the San Francisco defensively. Their alignment has Justin Christian in left, Pagan in center, Pence in right, Pablo Sandoval, Joaquin Arias at short, Scudero at second, Brandon Belt, the first baseman, Buster Posey, the all-star behind the plate, and Vogelsong on the mound. Former star at Kutztown University in Pennsylvania. He grew up in the Gettysburg, Pennsylvania area, land of history, Civil War history. Chase Headley, can he continue this incredible August? 20 home runs, 76 runs batted in, but here in this month with 13 games yet to play, incredibly 8 home runs, 24 runs batted in, best in all of baseball. Runner goes. The throw by Posey is high, and Venable's in there. Number 17 for Will.
It was a breaking ball from Vogelsong. High leg kick, breaking ball, high throw, and that equates into a stolen base for Will Venable.
Almost gets off the bag here, and then able to drag that left foot and hook it on the front edge. So the Padres with a runner in scoring position, and 2-0 the count on Headley with Quinton to bat next.
So we have to keep an eye on what type of pitches Headley gets here with Quinton on deck. We talked about that. Oh my.
That did seem a bit outside, but it's 2-1. Let's see what Fox Tracks said. Maybe it's our eyes.
Well, Brian O'Nora said it was on the corner. Yeah, on the corner of 8th and K.
That never gets old. 2 balls and a strike. Off speed changeup at 84 has Headley out in front. 2-2.
See, if it's away from the lefty, it's 8th and K. If it's down and away to the righty, it's 16th and Imperial.
Okay, I got it.
You got geographically. You have to be accurate.
You're a veritable baseball roadmap, city roadmap. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. High fastball out of the strike zone, and Headley is gone. 122nd time he's fanned. He's among the leaders, unfortunately, in that department. Carlos Quinton then with Venable at second. Quinton with his 13th homer last night. This year against Giants pitching, much better than that 260 season average. Against Giants pitching, he's hitting .381 with 3 of his home runs.
I noticed that last pitch, a few of the fastballs from Ryan Vogelsong has a little cut action to it. He likes to throw that cutter.
Got in on Quinton, fouls it off. Well, Sunday has always been a run day, fun day for the Padres, but this year they need to win today to make it 10-10 on Sundays. Won the count. Clayton Richard not taking a seat in that dugout. I mean, he just does everything at fast pace. Might take him some time if he sat down, because then he wouldn't be able to run to the mound as quickly to start the next inning. Just itchy. He wants to get back out there. Like to have a run to work with as he bides his time. 1-1. And he's going to get a run. Solid single to center. Venable around third. He will score. Padres 1, Giants nothing.
Now, to counter the cutter, Vogelsong tries to bury the two-seamer into some right-handers, and Carlos Quinton was all over that two-seam fastball, catching too much of the plate, and the Padres are on the board. Good hitting by the Padre left fielder. Solid single. The ground ball to the center fielder. One of my favorite plays of all time.
So the Padres do give Clayton Richard a run to work with. Yonder Alonso, the hitter. There's a base hit to left field. Quinton pulls up at second. Padres' third hit of this first inning. And that'll bring up Alexi Amarista.
2-out Thunder. Hey, it didn't sound like thunder off the bat. It was off the end of the bat, but putting the ball in play, you see the shift just out of the reach of Arias at shortstop, and the Padres keep it going.
Amarista, unlike Venable, enjoys hitting here at Petco. He's doing his best work here at Petco Park. 21 games, last 21, hitting .294. High ball one. Well, the start by the Padres, already a run in the first inning, has to be alarming to the Giants fans, because after going at least 5 innings in all of his starts this year, Vogelsong, the last time out, Washington took him apart. 2 2/3 innings, 8 runs and 9 hits. One ball, one strike to Amarista. Youngster with his camo uniform has himself a Major League Baseball. Two on, 2 out. And 2-1 now to Little Ninja.
You know, Everett Cabrera, some of the Padre teammates might thank him, even though he struck out. He took one for the team, so to speak. 13 pitch at bat. The next pitch for Vogelsong will be number 28.
And 3-1 to Amarista.
Oh, a 2-1 curveball from Vogelsong.
Cameron Maben on deck. Well, a hot summer's day, unusually so here in San Diego. The ball should fly. Had a good cut. Full count now to Amarista. That section over here to our left, they've had about 10 foul balls already in the second deck.
Yeah, Toyota Terrace just to our left and also to our right. You got to bring your glove to the ball yard. Good chance of going home with the big league baseball.
Quinton at second, Alonso at first will take off on this one. 3-2 to Amarista. Ball 4. Bases are loaded for Cameron Maben. Long inning for Ryan Vogelsong. Today's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, Japan, and elsewhere around the globe. We welcome you Sunday at Petco Park, always Military Day here in our great city. And we welcome all you men and women with great thanks for your service. All the armed service veterans on this day to be honored in the ball game. Each Sunday, one Sunday it's the Navy, another the Army, another the Air Force, the Coast Guard, and so forth. Now it's all the veterans. And basically the Padres want to remind their fans that when our military men and women come home and are out of service, that we incorporate them into our society as quickly as possible, get them their education, get them their job training, get them back to where they were before they made the sacrifice to serve. We'll follow up on that a bit later with Rear Admiral Dixon Smith is going to join us in the third inning. The Camp Pendleton recruits are with us up in the right field corner, and Cameron Maben with a chance to do some damage here. 1-0 Padres in the first. The bases loaded. Line drive, center field, maybe hit it too hard. No, it falls in front of Pagan. Here comes the throw to the plate. The slide, and he's safe. Alonso just does get in with a left hand, and it's 3-0. Maben with a 2-run single, and it's the Padres that are on the scoreboard first with more than one. It's been the Giants that have been doing that in the series.
Well, like Alonso, off the end of the bat, but elevated. The pitch count continues to rise for Vogelsong. And sometimes you don't have to hit it on the sweet spot. And Glenn Hoffman waving him around. Got to go, big boy, and a slide towards foul territory, and good call by Brian Ornora. He was all over it, very close. Buster Posey trying to go with the swipe tag. That's a big run for the Padres.
Nicely executed slide. The body was away from the plate, but he got the left hand across the dish. So here's the 8th man to bat in the first inning, John Baker. Amarista stopped at second. Maben with his 35th and 36th runs batted in. And John Baker, product of Cal Berkeley. 1-0 the count on him, and it's been well, he's wearing 32 on his back is Vogelsong, and that's the pitches he's had to throw here in just the first inning.
You know, the great thing about being a baseball player, you can always help out even though you're not in the play. Look at Quentin. He's saying slide, slide, slide. He's directed traffic. Got to get down. And he's also playing umpire, signaling that he was safe. Awesome.
Give, give, give.
Yep.
The runners go. It's a double steal. Amarista to third, Maben to second.
In an inning like this, sure, Ryan Vogelsong is frustrated. He's throwing a lot of pitches. Maybe he falls into the trap to where he won looks. And with the front door open for Buster Posey, meaning the left-handed hitter, he's got a free, clean shot to throw to third base. It's off target. And now another single will score 2.
7th steal for Amarista, and Maben leads the club now with 21. And Baker goes after the high limb. The Padres striking out on the high pitches, but in between, 3 runs on 4 singles, with Cameron Maben's bases loaded single accounting for 2. But the Padres on 4 singles score 3 and take the early lead. Buster Posey leads off the Giants' second inning on an absolute tear since the All-Star break, hitting .439. In perspective, after the All-Star break, this is all the way through the end of September. Ted Williams had the greatest batting average, .453 and 57. But Posey in that company, Ichiro and George Brett.
Wow, that's incredible. Those numbers.
Now he's got to maintain it through another full 5-6 weeks. But the way he's been swinging in this series, the indications are that there's just no holes in this man's swing. 2-0 to Posey last night. 3 hits and 4 at-bats, 2 doubles and a single, scored twice, and not going to run with a sacrifice fly. 3-0, just missing downstairs. Posey, Pence, and Arias in the Giants' second. The stylish Hunter Pence on deck. There's a strike. Somewhat surprising last night when the Padres had a 4-1 lead and the Giants rallied to win 8-7. That's ties their biggest comeback all season, coming from behind 3 runs. Well, they've got to do that again today. Maybe a good sign, and that's another good sign. Posey doesn't get a hit. Fly ball to Venable and right. Will Venable drops the ball, and Posey's going to second with a slide. A high sky, and Venable lost the ball.
Yeah, that hurts. Looks like he's got a bead on it, and just off the pinky side of the glove. Judging by the body language of Will Venable, it didn't look like he was battling. He's got the sunglasses on. He was not shading the sun with his glove.
He had the cap down. It looked like his eyes were shaded.
Tough break.
So a 2-base error. Let's see if Richard can pitch around it.
Well, is he battling? No, he's got an eye on it. He's got a bead on it.
Hunter Pence hitting just .217 since joining the Giants, but 4 for 7 in this series. Last night with a single and an RBI double and a walk.
You know, you look at that play and you can go throughout all sports. Extra point, you shank it. Free throw, nobody's in your face, 15 feet, clank. Guy hooks one off the tee box. Happens.
Match point, ace, not an ace, but double fault into the net. Can't get it over the net.
Tony Romo can't get the snap and get the ball down for his field goal kicker to get the point after. Barry Zito, the baseball came out of his hand and went 38 feet. It happens.
Ball gets away from Baker. Oh, this is not a good start to the second inning. A 2-base error and a wild pitch. And without any effort, the Giants have a man at third, no one out. And the look of the manager of the Padres is, what is going on out there?
Looked like a cutter or a fastball, some type of pitch down and in. Looked more like a fastball.
So 3-1 to Pence. Infield plays back. High fly ball, center field shallow. Maben coming in, tagging Posey. It isn't that deep. Posey's going to try to score anyway. Here comes the throw, and he's in there. Unearned run for the Giants. It's 3-1. Maben's throw, the aerial route, did not throw it in on one hop.
Yeah, it had some air under it, didn't it? And just towards the first base side. You know what? If that ball's down by the plate, might have been a different story, but Posey scores. Giants are on the board.
2-base error, Venable, wild pitch and a fly ball. Just medium deep center field, and the Giants are graciously given a run by the Padres. Joaquin Arias, first time up last night, homered into the left field bleachers. Only his second of the season. That set the tone for the Giants, who went on to score 8 more runs, 7 more after this home run. They've now scored 19 in the series. Line drive, Maben charges and drops that one. Arias is aboard. Maben sliding, and the ball was actually higher than he had judged. And they're going to score that a single.
Yeah, there comes a point in an outfielder's play to where you got to go all in, or you just kind of play it on the hop. Cameron may have gotten caught in between, and it short hops his glove, and luckily it keeps it in front of him.
Yeah, actually he didn't get the glove on it initially. Yeah, he did a good job of keeping that at a single. So things going right for the Giants. They've got to run back. It's 3-1. One out to Brandon Belt. Richard finally facing a left-handed batter, and against left-handers this year he has been as tough as anyone in the league. Left-handed hitters are batting only .201 against Clayton Richard. Oh, 0-2 the count. .201 and only one home run given to a left-handed hitter. Right-handers, a little different story. .275 and 20 home runs.
Now this is the point where Clayton Richard, as a pitcher, you have to be mentally tough. Just erase all the stuff that's gone on before this point and get outs, make some quality pitches. He's got no control after that baseball leaves his hand. What he does have control on is trying to hit the glove of John Baker and make good quality pitches.
I bet that's a big seller today. One and two to Belt.
I guess down the middle doesn't count today. Did they, when they went over the ground rules, did they say, hey, by the way, guys, if the pitch is down the middle, it's not going to count today?
Mr. Honora, I'd like you to meet Mr. Grant. He'd like to show you some evidence here.
Hey, I know each umpire has their own little strike zone. It happens. You know, once in a while they call it a ball. How you doing? And other times it's going to be a strike.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Brandon Belt. And he's a master of the foul ball as well. We've seen that last couple of years from Belt. He'll spoil a lot of pitches. Yeah, there's some clever sunshade. Arias with a single at first base.
A lot of fans in the stands today.
Line drive, that's going to loop over second baseman's head. Arias takes a turn and holds. Belt with a base hit. And the Giants have the tying run on with only 1 out, and Justin Christian, the left fielder, is the batter.
Let's check out the location. Yes, he wanted it down and away. It leaks up and in. And with the way that Brandon Belt has been swinging the bat, you know, lefty on lefty, he stays in there quite nicely. And just a little calm me down here for Clayton Richard as Darren Balsley, the pitching coach for the Padres, goes out and talks to him.
It's one of those go get him now. Error by Venable. Wild pitch, sacrifice fly. 3-1. And then Arias and Belt back-to-back singles. This Giants ball club, that's a team just from 1 through 8. Hitting and scoring runs. In the major leagues, the 3rd lowest run total at home, but away from AT&T Park in San Francisco, more runs than any team. Well over 5 a game. 10 in the first game here of the series, 8 last night. Hitting perpetuates hitting. Popped up. Foul territory. Infield fly rule had it been fair. 2 away. So the inning should be over. Pitcher Vogelsong comes up, and we remind you to subscribe to MLB.tv and take advantage of new low pricing and see every remaining Padres out of market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Padres.com to order. Get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Petco Park.
Was that a beautiful shot or what?
Vogelsong right field. Venable makes the catch. An unearned run for the Giants on 2 hits. It's 3-1.
You know, that's one thing I can say about us. We're going to go play hard for 27 outs, and you know, we gave them a game there at the end, and you know, unfortunately, we couldn't quite you know, get that last one that we needed. But yeah, I've been proud of these guys, and that's what I expect us to do.
Quote of the week, quote of the game by Chase Headley. Of course, he's right. They battled until the bottom of the 9th inning last night, and today they're doing the same thing. I talked to Yonder Alonso after the game, too. He said no matter what the situation is, these guys will keep on battling no matter what into that final out, and hopefully that won't be the case today. Hopefully they can get a little bit of lead with a couple more runs, and it'll be smooth sailing after that. Gentlemen?
All right, CS, thanks for that report. Bud Black, take a deep sigh of relief. Brian Wilson remembered by the Giants fans out with elbow surgery, the closer. Well, right-hander Vogelsong needed 35 pitches in that first inning. The tone set by Cabrera, making him throw 13 with that rash of foul balls. Pitcher Clayton Richard, a hit about every 10 at bats. Got 6 RBIs.
It's time to get that run back.
Cabrera and then Will Venable to follow here in the Padres second inning.
Whoa, Vogelsong throwing Richard a changeup. That's some respect right there, knowing that Richard can swing the shillelagh with the best of them, put the ball in play.
Struck him out. So the 4 outs made by the Padres, all strikeouts. To the top of the order, Everett Cabrera. Meanwhile, the Dodgers in Atlanta today. Chad Billingsley, the pitcher, and Luis Cruz for the 2nd game in a row hits a home run. Normally light hitting infielder, delivering a homer last night, again today, and the Dodgers shut out the Braves 5-0 on a 3-hitter. Dodgers a half game behind the Giants at the start of play today. So the win moves them for the moment even with the Giants. So based on how the Giants do today, they'll still be in first or fall a half game behind the Dodgers. lifts that one down the left field line, foul territory, and just out of the reach. Now the left fielder Christian.
Oh, he's not letting go of that thing.
Arizona pounding Houston 7-1 in the 7th inning. Brad Mills and a couple of his coaches relieved of duty yesterday. And a feel for Mills, you know, they just stripped that entire roster. He has no players, and then they fire him.
Yep.
That's looped foul.
Hey, you know, put yourself in Brad Mills' shoes. I mean, maybe this is a good thing for Brad Mills. You know, enjoy the last 6 weeks of the season with your family, and you know, why be put through that stress?
They still pay him?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good guy. I feel for him. You know,
great baseball man.
You know, it's like firing the jockey because the horse can't run. You know, won't leave the stable, so you fire the jockey.
Right.
Can't win, so it must be the jockey's fault. 1-2 to Cabrera. About time he hit some foul balls, isn't it?
Yeah.
13 pitches the first time and about 10 fouls before he struck out.
Yeah, a lot of fastballs. Let's see if Vogelsong sticks with the fastball. There's another one.
That one had some danger behind it for the fans down in that Giants territory. A lot of orange shirts.
Well, that's the 18th pitch that Everett Cabrera has seen from Vogelsong this afternoon in 2 at-bats.
A total of 10 fouls in 2 at-bats. Outside and able to hold off on the breaking ball. 2-2.
And believe me, the hitter on deck, I mentioned this earlier, the hitters on the bench, they are looking at every single pitch what Vogelsong is throwing. It gives them an indication of what might be coming their way when they step up to the plate.
Up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Cabrera with the 5th Padre single against Vogelsong. He's aboard for Will Venable.
Hey, that's what they'll see, or that's what'll get you a base knock after seeing 18, 19 pitches thrown your way. A lot of fastballs right up the center of the diamond.
Buster Posey out to talk with Vogelsong. Cabrera, for those of you who have not been following the Padres thoroughly throughout this season, Cabrera has tried to steal 20 times, and he's been successful all 20. Was called up from Tucson down in the Pacific Coast League. He was 15 for 15. That's an amazing 35 for 35 this season. He'll pick his spots as Cabrera leads off, and Venable singled his first time. Low outside target, and Vogelsong hits it with a changeup. Venable started the 3-run rally in the first inning with a single to left, stole second, came around on Quinton's single, and eventually with the bases loaded, Maben with a single to get 2 more home. As a pitcher, Mark Grant, you weren't on base that often, even though you were quite a slugger.
Right.
Did you ever steal a base?
Never.
High school?
Never. They DH'd for me. Can you believe that? They took the bat right out of my hands. Terrible.
Criminal.
Yeah, they DH'd for me in high school. Minor leagues, of course, when we played a National League affiliate, we batted as pitchers, but I'll admit it, terrible. The worst.
Well, you can't be that bad if you don't get a chance. 1 strike to Venable. Cabrera big lead. And 1-1. Vogelsong, as he is watched by former left-handed pitcher, 119 wins, Bud Black. And Tommy John 10 years ago, like so many, has come back and pitched better after the surgery.
It looked like Cabrera trying to really time Vogelsong there. Had a nice secondary lead.
Next pitch from Vogelsong will be his 50th, and we are only 1 out in the 2nd inning. Dave Roberts, a great base stealer, the first base coach, helping out Cabrera.
Now, this is one of those situations also where you look at the shortstop and second baseman, possibly maybe a delayed steal.
And maybe the very presence of Cabrera takes some of the concentration away from Vogelsong, and he falls behind Venable 3-1. Runner goes, and it's fouled back. Well, this is a great Sunday, and Sundays with the Padres are always fun, and you can come out early and have breakfast right here at Petco Park before every Sunday home game. Enjoy a made-to-order omelet station, fresh squeezed juices, French toast,
Keep talking, Professor.
Pancakes, big stacks, and more. Gates open at 10:30. Visit Padres.com/breakfast for more information. Sunday, start, get your tickets, and come out and have breakfast right on the warning track around home plate or out in the outfield, as fans did today.
I love big old flapjacks out there. A lot of syrup, bacon.
Buttermilk, you like buttermilk?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Some kind of nice.
Next Sunday game is September 8th against Arizona. Yeah, those fellas that enjoy some of the Petco Park pancakes.
Yep.
And ladies.
Hey, it's somebody's birthday. Happy birthday wherever you are. It's kind of bummed out, actually.
Runner goes. High fly ball. Long run for Pence and the second baseman Scudero, and they're not going to be able to make a play as that one skips into the crowd. Padres leading 3-1 here in the second, trying to add more.
Hey, it's my party, and I'll cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you.
Cole Porter?
No.
Darn, I never get those right. That was close. Belt didn't handle the ball cleanly. As quick move by Vogelsong. Going to call a lifeline on that one?
Yeah, stay tuned.
Full count to Venable. Cabrera goes. Another foul.
Leslie Gore. Great song.
Well, all of the family of the former vice president, they all were musically inclined. Now, Vogelsong must be wondering, now, what's wrong with my stuff? That they're fouling so many pitches.
You know what I look at, Dick? A lot of fastballs, but he's around the zone. Now, there come time for a pitcher to where you have to throw a bad pitch and have the hitter chase.
16 foul balls, and he's thrown 53 pitches.
Remember, we looked at the Fox tracks earlier in the ball game, and it was just pummeled with yellow dots, right? Very few balls out of the zone. It doesn't look like Vogelsong is really trying to put away hitters by throwing some pitches off the plate or down out of the zone.
And yet the 4 outs made so far are all strikeouts. Cabrera with his lead. There he goes. Ground ball right through the hole. Cabrera won't stop. He's on his way to third. Runners at the corners here in the second for the Padres. Back-to-back singles for Will Venable. Good at bat.
Well, everything working perfectly right there. The speed of Cabrera, he's off and running. Venable getting a fastball. It's down and in. Vogelsong missing his spot. You see where Posey was? He wanted it down and away. And it works perfectly for the Padres. Flash look, ball in play. Doesn't break stride.
So the Padres with a chance to add. Leading 3-1, Chase Headley. Mr. August comes to the plate. 8 home runs and 24 runs batted in this month. And we're just at August 19th. Takes a strike. He struck out swinging first time. And Fox tracks showing that plate umpire Brian O'Nora has an unpredictable strike zone today.
Wow.
Infield back. Give up a run with a chance at a double play.
Dick, I was just going to ask you the question. If you're a pitcher and you throw that pitch off the plate and get the call, what are you going to do?
Go right back.
Exactly.
Feed me. Vogelsong with a 2.72 ERA. That's the 4th best in the entire National League, but he's given up 3 already, and Padres threaten for more here in the 2nd.
Cutter. Cut fastball down and in.
You know how they say if grass is greener on the other side of the fence? You've heard that expression.
Right. The grass isn't always greener, right?
You know the answer to that is to ask your neighbor to give your garden tools back. Don't you think that would work?
Somebody's been raiding the shed.
Yeah. Let's see whose grass is greener. Up high. And our men and women around the world watching our telecast here from San Diego. We always have a great time, especially Sundays are fun day. Mark Grant, our partner here, Dick Enberg. I know they are aware that the economy is tough, and especially in New York, where did you hear that the mafia had to fire 20 judges? They had to let them go. Things are tough. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Headley. Oh, come on, smile. Another foul ball, and Vogelsong saying, "You're killing me." George Cantos getting ready in the bullpen as the next pitch will be the 60th from the 35-year-old Vogelsong. Another foul. This is amazing. 20 foul balls that Vogelsong has seen fly out of here, and there's 1 out in the 2nd inning. Count remaining 1-2 on Headley. Chance to pick up another RBI here in August. He has 21. Struck him out for the 2nd time with a changeup.
Well, the Padre hitters this afternoon have been battling a lot of foul balls, as Dick Enberg mentioned. Well, it all started with a strike. That strike was down the street a little bit. But once again, see how Vogelsong, he's really pummeling the zone with the fastball. A lot of straight stuff. Occasionally he'll mix in a breaking ball. He gets him finally with a pitch that looks like a fastball, that being the changeup.
So interestingly, with all the base traffic and foul balls, Ryan Vogelsong, when he's gotten an out, all 5 have been strikeouts. Carlos Quinton singled in a run and scored himself in the 1st inning. What better way to spend a Sunday afternoon at the Ball Yard? Quinton with big time power. Long home run last night. Oh, yeah, I was about to say his home run total and being hit by pitches have been a race all season long. He started today with 13 homers and 13 times hit by a pitch. Now the hit batsman mark is ahead by 1.
Yeah, and Carlos Quinton wasn't too happy about this one, getting it right in the back. That one kind of hurts, and the glaring look. I mean, let's face it, getting hit like that hurts. And in the heat of the moment, I don't think Carlos Quinton wants to have a Jerry Springer show breakout on the field, but he's pretty upset.
So he's going to lead the major leagues in being hit before the season's over. Carlos Ruiz is on the disabled list. And he will always be among the leaders because he crowds the plate and he's not afraid to be able to take one. He doesn't like to be hit,
right.
but you know, his stance is such that he's got his chin right over that inside corner.
Well, this is now where Yonder Alonso has to make it hurt for the Giants. Bases loaded. Quentin takes one for the team. And the bases are FOP.
Full of Padres. Venable. Cabrera at third. Venable at second. Quentin at first. Alonso singled and scored in the first inning. 8 men came to bat in the first. The Padres scored 3. This is the 6th man to reach home plate here in the second inning to swing. 2-0. Well, Alonso in the driver's seat here with the bases loaded. He's got to think about, all right, I want to pitch right there. He's got to come to me.
He's looking at an area about the size of a shoebox, middle in, something that he can really turn on and do some damage.
May not get a fastball. So Ryan Vogelsong, after struggling in his last outing but pitching consistently deep into every game all season, is in trouble again. But a ground ball to second will bail him out. So the Padres are going to leave 3 men in the second, and the score remains 3-1. Late as we move to the top of the third, but some wasted opportunities. They've left 5 men on base in 2 innings. 3 runs on 6 hits, an unearned run for San Francisco. And Angel Pagan will lead it off, top of the 3rd inning. It's Clayton Richard, and we're joined in our booth by Rear Admiral Dixon Smith. It's Military Day as always, and it's a pleasure to have you with us, sir.
It's great to be up here today. Thanks for having me.
Now, there's so many questions, and some of the fans may have noticed that Mark and I are wearing a 6 pin. And the Gotcher 6, we saw a lot of the veterans wearing that jersey or shirt in pregame ceremonies. What does that attend to?
Well, the Gotcher 6, I mean, that's a military term. We've got your back. And so there it is right there. So for folks out in town now, new organization, hey, our veterans, we got your 6. We got your back. We're going to help you out.
And veterans come back. They've served their country. Often they feel displaced. You know, how do I get back? A line drive base hit by Pagan opens the Giants' 3rd and will bring up Marco Scutaro. And now they have to acclimate themselves again to a city or situation. Maybe don't have a job. What can are we doing enough here in San Diego?
I think we need to do more. We as a community need to do more. These men and women have served their country, many of them in the war zone. They come back, and it is a little bit foreign to them because they haven't had to look a job before. They don't know how to transition their skill sets and what they can do and the characteristics they bring to the community. And so I think we as a community have a responsibility to reach out to them, understand what they bring and what they can do for us, and help them find jobs and reintegrate them into society.
Give me some specifics. What can we do specifically? What could I do tomorrow?
What you could do tomorrow is, if you have a company, you could say, I'm going to make a promise and I'm going to hire a veteran. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to find that veteran and I'm going to teach him the skill set that he or she needs to get hired and do the job.
You know, Admiral, when I look at this situation, the one thing quality that I think when somebody comes back after the situation they've been in, and it would work in the workforce, is just the whole concept of teamwork, because that's what they've been doing in their military career. But to have a veteran come to your company or whatever the case may be, I think teamwork is something that they could bring, and that's something that has already been learned to them to contribute to a company.
That's what we do in the military. As you said, we're part of a team. They understand structure, they understand organization, they understand leadership, management. They know how to get things done. They're problem solvers.
I was pleased to hear that San Diego State has made a conscious effort to try to include veterans that want to go back and complete their education.
They have, SDSU is wonderful. They've got, in addition to troops to engineers and those folks that have the technical orientation and want to be an engineer, the whole campus embraces the veteran, helps them through their educational, getting their degrees so they can get back out in the economy.
Well, it's, as you know, the San Diego Padre organization is very proud of the fact that it's been involved with the military, as we well should, and have set an example for the other major league teams.
The Padres are phenomenal. You all recognize the military, both active and retired, and those that have served. You know, as you well know, every Sunday home game, in one way or another, you recognize the different military members in the service that is out here serving their country. And so for those of us in uniform and those that have served in the uniform before, we thank you very much for what you do in promoting us.
We have a list of some of the organizations that have been assisting, especially the military and veterans, as Scudero now with the count 3-1. And that's a strike, full count to the second baseman of the Giants. No one out. Leadoff single, Pagan. Recruits from the Marines are here today, and there are some of the other organizations and how you can assist on the internet. Fly ball, right center. Maben has a beat on it. And in this bright sun, you wait till they really tuck it away. One out.
It's got to be tough also for the families and the families that have children when they come back and trying to get something that's stable in their life as well.
It is. I mean, and this happens all the services, but just here in San Diego, we just had a destroyer leave on Friday, and she's deployed now for 8 months. So that mother or father will not be home until next spring. And so you take that figure away from the family. The child gets used to it, and then you bring them back, and they've got to reintegrate and remember what mom or dad do for them. But
that's a great play by Headley on Sandoval's ball, and he throws him out.
That was pretty sweet.
Headley with a terrific play, and there's 2 gone now in the Giants' third inning.
Admiral, you think you can make this play?
No.
You'd get your uniform dirty, and I wouldn't want to see that.
There's a reason I'm in this uniform and not that uniform.
That is a handsome uniform. To second base goes Pagan, but Headley takes one out of left field and robs Sandoval. Yeah, Pablo took one away from the Padres last night, so turnabout is fair play. You made a point, too, Admiral, that it's not just those that are returning and getting them a place in our society and helping them to get back to where they have a fair chance with all the rest, but it's the families as well that we should acknowledge. And I would imagine that almost every community here in our great city and county has somebody in the military that's gone to make a conscious effort to, help out that family and the kids in that family.
Absolutely. Our families, our spouses, whether the husband or wife, they're taking care of those kids and take care of that family while their loved one is forward deployed. And face it, those in uniform do not make a lot of money. Sometimes it's a struggle to make ends meet. And there are a lot of organizations out in town that work hard to take care of them.
Look at this play. How about that? A 1-4-3 Karam. And Posey denied, as was Sandoval. A couple of brilliant defensive plays in the top of the third. And the Giants denied and remains 3-1. To bat, bottom of the third. Amarista, Maben, and Baker will hit for San Diego. I think it's quite appropriate, Admiral, that in that last inning, the Padres' defense, and of course that's what the military's all about in many ways, should sparkle in front of your eye. And that Karam off the leg of Richard and Amarista, showing that strong arm to throw out Posey and deny run to the Giants.
Hey, we talked about got your 6, right?
Yep.
Well, Amarista had Clayton Richards 6, picking him up on the backside there to get the out.
Our guest is Rear Admiral Dixon Smith, who has spent 34 years in the military. Graduate of the Naval Academy, has his master's degree, and monitoring the activities of not only the Navy but veterans here in the San Diego area. And before we let you go, let's set a situation. My son, 17, 18, he signs up and he's going to be in the Navy for what, 5 years, right?
5 years, most likely.
So then when he gets out, he might be 22, 23. Never really had a job in the community. He's been watched over and disciplined and following the rules of the Navy. It's a job, but yet it's much different when we dump him back into society.
It does. I mean, that he will not have had to interview for a job. He won't know what a corporation needs from him as a skill set, because he's focused on the things that we need in the military. But those skills that he has in the military translate very well to the community and corporations. And that, in my mind, is what part of our corporations need to do and our communities do, is how to understand how to translate what our young men and women do in the military.
So you leaders of corporations around San Diego County, large and small, think about that. And when some young guy knocks on your door, 22, said, I just got out of the service, could you help me out? Give him a yes. Thank you very much, Admiral, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Admiral, thank you. Thank you for all that you do.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be here, and thank you, and go Pods. Thank you for what you do for us.
Rear Admiral Dixon Smith. Got your 6, folks. You got your back, and we can accept that attitude and promote it and help our veterans. And that's a very small way to say thank you, but it's a way to give back to them. Amarista goes down swinging, first out here in the third. So Vogelsong has 6 strikeouts, and he's pitched himself out of 2 big jams.
And Dick, you know, the phrase, you know, got your 6, right? I had to ask the question. And, you know, if you're watching or you talk to military people, you know, like if they're in a fighter plane, right? And they said, hey, bogey at 2 o'clock, right? It's like a clock, right? Well, the 6 is behind you. You can't see behind you, right? So if somebody's got your 6, that means they've got your backside, they've got your back. So that's where that comes all about.
Yeah, if you're in the trenches,
yeah,
got to have somebody.
That's right.
At your back. Got your 6. I like it. Let's keep those pins.
Yeah.
Wear those on Sundays. So the Padres with a 3-1 lead here on Military Sunday. And the defense certainly had Clayton Richards back in the top of this inning. Headley at third and Amarista at second. Maben with a bases loaded single to knock in 2 of the 3 runs the Padres scored in the first inning. Clayton Richard already with a bat in his hands. He's 3 away, but eager to swing the lumber. Another hit for Maben. 2 solid singles today.
Staying on the breaking ball. Nice job by Cameron Maben. A lot of fastballs early from Ryan Vogelsong. Hands back. Throw that head. And that's a good sound right through the 5.5 hole for Cameron Maben.
You couldn't have split the third baseman and shortstop any better.
Had him 0-2. 0-2 mistake.
Brings up John Baker. Struck out the first time.
I love it. John Baker is still going with the old school stirrups. Leave it to John Baker.
Yeah,
he'll mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, he's like you. He's a fashion player.
Love that. That's so cool.
A little high on the stirrups. I could do a little less, and I'm not going to argue with you. 1-1. I actually prefer the stirrups just under the calf, not on the top of the calf. But that's now we're talking Cal State Northridge 1961. Fouled into the glove of Posey.
You know what we used to do in Pony League and Colt League back home, even high school, we used to take, you know, the bottom of the stirrup and cut it and then insert a piece of elastic
so they could be higher.
So they could be even higher.
Now see, I don't like that.
I don't like that look at all. The plain black, brown, yellow, green, whatever. Old-fashioned stirrups. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, that look that belt wears kind of what you would wear if you were in a rocking chair doing some knitting, you know, to keep in the middle of the winter, to keep those legs, the vascular capillaries and all, keep those nice and warm for you in the heart of winter.
You know, I'm not a fan of the bell bottoms either.
No, I'm not either. Just they look not a clean dress, you know, like he's going to trip over those. Son, pull up your pants.
Pants on the ground. Pants on the ground.
What do we know about hockey, huh? 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vogelsong about to offer his 80th pitch. 1 out here in the third. The Padres plenty of chances, but only 3 runs home. Maben with 20 steals. And then today he picked up another on the double steal, so 21 to lead the team. Full count. Vogelsong didn't like that call. Pitcher on deck. 3-2. You send Maben?
With the way the strike zone is, no. Do you know what I mean by that? Because it could be a ball, look like a ball. Umpire might call it a strike. The last thing you want is to strike him out, throw him out.
Right. And then give pitcher Clayton Richard a chance to get out of the order. I mean, you want him to get a base hit or get on base, but it's not a bad thing if you lead off the inning after the pitcher has made the out in the inning before. Right, Clayton, you know, he's good enough to pinch hit, good enough to knock in 6. Fly ball left field. Christian there. 2 away. Well, time now for our AT&T trivia question from Petco Park today. And here we go. How many different Padre players have hit 20 or more home runs in a season in the last 8 years? How many have hit at least 20 or more in the last 8 years? We'll have the answer for you in the half inning. Headley with 4 home runs last year, 20 this season. Well, Richard with Maven at first base, 2 outs. He struck out his first time.
Well, Dick, I got word from our good friend Tony Patrica in the clubhouse. For a game, they usually start with 6 dozen baseballs. They end up going through about 8 or 9 dozen for a game. But he says, quote, "Today is killing me." Cabrera's at bat sent me through the roof.
Well, he took care of almost a dozen baseballs in one at bat.
He's the best.
Cabrera on deck, but the count goes to 1-1 on Clayton Richard. Fouls that one away right on cue. Well, you think about it, it wasn't too long ago. They didn't throw the ball out every time it bounced in the dirt.
Exactly.
They might play for a whole inning with 1 baseball.
Yep.
Now it's almost every pitch, much less the foul balls. 1-2. Struck him out again. 7 strikeouts for Vogelsong through 3 innings. Padres lead 3-1.
It's by a score of 3-1, and back by popular demand, Padres Beer Fest. Enjoy a variety of beers from some of San Diego's most popular breweries, Dick. It's going to be awesome before your Padres take on the D-backs. Party starts at 5. First pitch 7:05. Get your tickets now at Padres.com or get on the horn. Call 619-795-5555. Padres Beer Fest.
Yeah, what's the date again?
It is.
It's against Arizona, so it must be
Arizona
Friday the
Diamondbacks.
7th. Yeah, on the 7th. Pence swings and sends a high fly deep to left. Quentin's running out of room. No, he got it at the 3:57 sign. Pence just missed his 19th home run of the season.
That date for Beer Fest, folks, is September 7th.
That's always a popular Friday night at the park, so get your tickets early. Quentin, yes, able to. It's interesting that on Friday night, the home run by Scudero was maybe a foot and a half longer than that one. Hit the top of the fence, and that one barely scraped the top of the fence, and Quentin takes care of it.
And I'm just glad none of the fans interfered with Carlos Quentin out there. Staying in the stands, letting the player make the play.
Hey, this is San Diego. High fly, hit pretty well to center. Arias has shown good power in this series. Well, how about this? Now, how do you figure, Mark Grant? Clayton Richard leads the majors in groundouts. And today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 flyouts.
Up in the zone, maybe elevating some pitches. Not really working down in the zone. I know Mark Loretta is down by the dugout. Hey, Marco, welcome. First of all, I know there's 2 outs, but
hi guys.
How you doing on there?
Doing well. How are you?
Good.
Just put my sunscreen on. Pretty balmy out here.
You can probably
beautiful day.
Have a clay pot down there by the end of the day.
You know, funny story about Hunter Pence. I played with him in 2008 in Houston, and my son was about 4 years old then, and he couldn't really pronounce Hunter Pence, so he just called him Underpants the whole year. Pretty cute.
And Hunter would answer. Ooh, that one got away from Richard, and Belt lucky to skip out of the way. 2-0 the count. Belt single to right his first time. Well, a couple of terrific plays that last inning, huh, Mark?
Absolutely. A couple of diving plays. That misdirection play was.
Oh, and he hits him here after just missing him, and now that's a warning. I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah, that's going back to the Carlos Quentin hit by pitch. Clayton Richard countering. I'm not saying he's throwing it on purpose, but
just got wild twice in a row inside. And the warning immediately by Brian Honora to both dugouts that this has got to stop right here. He got him in the ribs.
Up on the plate, trying to establish the fastball inside.
Yeah, you can't get out of the way of that one, and nor could Quentin when he was up. So Slate even. Bud Black and Bruce Bochy understand from now on, if the judge being the umpire behind the plate, says you threw at the hitter, then the pitcher and the manager are out of here.
Yeah, now it takes the inside part of the plate out of the equation and coming in off the plate for both pitchers. And Mark Loretta, really quickly, does that bode well for the hitters now that they can feel a little bit more relaxed and start diving possibly?
You know, I don't think so, but I think that you have that in the back of your head. You're still trying to stay with your approach here, but hopefully the umpire will use his discretion, and if there is a hit batter, he can determine whether it was on purpose or not.
Right.
Just because somebody gets hit, they shouldn't be thrown out of the game next time around.
Justin Christian fouled out to Headley. Quentin is right there. Another fly ball out. All 3 outs in the 4th in the air from Clayton Richard. Still 3-1. I would dare say that every fan here today and every fan that's come on Sundays, military Sundays at Petco Park, go home and say, what a great game. And you know what? What a thrill it was to hear the Marine hymn and see those recruits out in right field and be able to stand and applaud. It's part of making our Sunday special. United States Marines. Back to baseball, and the Padres hit from the top of the order. Cabrera, Venable, and Headley. A lot of base traffic for the Padres. They've left 6 men on base in the first 3 innings.
And we wish those recruits well on their way to earning their Globe and Anchor. Wish them nothing but the best and thank them.
Cabrera falls behind 2 strikes. If you're just joining us, his first at bat to open the first inning against Ryan Vogelsong. Saw 13 pitches, fouled off, and put some weight on Vogelsong's shoulders, and eventually in that inning the Padres got 3 runs. And his pitch count, of course, impacted by Cabrera's efforts, and the next one will be number 90 as he opens the 4th inning. So it means that the Giants are going to have to go to their bullpen much earlier than they would have hoped.
In his last start against Washington, 2 2/3 innings, he threw 62 pitches. Next pitch here will be 90.
Looped foul.
Now, this is one of those games, Dick, where as a reliever for the Giants, you're down there in that bullpen, and you start to take off that jacket, maybe get your arm loose, knowing that, hey, my inning might be coming up because of the pitch count. Now at 90 pitches.
Cabrera featured in the Sunday UT Q&A, talking about how he grew up. They didn't have baseballs. They found a tennis ball, and that's how he learned some of the fundamentals of the game. In fact, he'd throw it against the wall and then with a bat hit it. He was his own pitcher.
Yeah, can work on your throwing, right? And also your hitting.
You find a way from age 6.
That's a great story.
Rafael Furcal, similar build, infielder, was his idol. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another foul. That'll make it to the seats. After all those foul balls in the first inning, Cabrera struck out. Then he singled his last time up. And in that article, he said that steal of home at Dodger Stadium, with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the 9th inning, he said that still is the highlight of his career. So maybe you'll have another big Sunday.
Going back to that stolen base at home, because I remember I was watching it on TV. I've never stolen a base. I've never stolen home, so I can't imagine what that feels like. But I would have to say it's fair. It's almost like that anticipation before you take that leap or to go onto a ride, or if you're going to parachute, just jumping out of the, what I'm saying? Once you get past that, you got to give it your all. You're all in. And I'm sure that's what he was thinking before he committed to throw or to steal home plate.
It was just so cleverly executed. The timing was immaculate. Another souvenir. Get back into the storage room, get another dozen baseballs. Lined again. That's right, Tony. Make that a couple more dozen.
And this being the 3rd plate appearance for Everth Cabrera, the next pitch that he sees will be number 30 on the afternoon.
And in these 3 plate appearances, he's fouled off 15 pitches. Wow.
Vogelsong is around the plate.
Bullpen busy for San Francisco with a pitch count now at 95. Cabrera, more importantly, trying to get on to lead off this 4th. And he will. That single clearing the glove try of Scutaro, and Cabrera's 2 for 3. CS Keys, what do you have for us?
And you guys were talking about the pins that you have. Well, before the game, the Padres actually gave out over 200 of these shirts to military men and women. It's regarding got your back, got your six in military speak, that is. Of course, I got your back, you got mine. And for the most part, they're dealing with an organization called Mission Continues, which they deal with veterans to help them get involved in their communities through community service. So over 200 of these shirts are throughout the stadium right now. So with that in mind, guys, got your six now. I got your six.
All right, CS. We
got
yours.
your six, CS.
Yeah, that works in neighborhoods, businesses, communities, and in the broadcast business as well. You know, it's the military version of baseball saying, "I'll pick them up for you."
Right, exactly. Yep.
Which is one of my favorite expressions. You know, somebody comes with their head down, just struck out, bases loaded. Next guy comes up to plate, says, "Hey, I'll pick him up for you." Gets a base hit. Everyone forgot that you struck out. Bochy's going to make a pitching change and a double switch as Gregor Blanco going in the outfield, left field for Christian, and Jose Majerus is going to charge in from the bullpen. We saw him last night. Breaking the action at Petco with the Padres in front, 3-1. Presents Padres Baseball. Brought to you by Sequan Casino. Sequan's delicious all-you-can-eat surf and turf buffet with prime rib, crab legs, and over 100 selections, only $20.95. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a luxurious Lexus automobile today. For more information, visit Lexus.com. Jose Majerus, before delivering his first pitch, goes over and checks on Cabrera at first base. Cabrera impacting this game, and Vogelsong with 15 foul balls. And Vogelsong leaves with no one out here in the fourth. 96 pitches deep in the game. We saw Majerus retired 2 men last night. Bunted in the air, and it falls. And the throw to first is just in time as Bell to the second baseman on the sacrifice. So Cabrera had to be careful there. He judged that the ball wouldn't be caught, and he was right as he advances to second on the sacrifice.
Good old-fashioned baseball, getting him into scoring position and trying to get that run back that the Giants scored at the top of the second inning. That's the worst feeling as a hitter when you bunt that baseball up in the air. But great hustle by Will Venable. Maybe it was less than a half a step at first base.
Venable 2 for 2 and a sacrifice in the game. It gives Headley and Quinton a chance to add to the 3-1 lead here in the fourth inning. Blanco in left field. We presume that he's going to hit in the 9th spot. He is. And will lead off the top of the 5th inning. Harris came into the game last night. That was after Quinton had homered off starter, well, off Eric Hacker. Got Alonso to end the 6th inning. Headley, glad to see Vogelsong in the showers. Struck out twice facing the veteran right-hander. Again, an opportunity to add to that RBI total of 21 in August.
Wow. That's my last wow of the afternoon, folks.
You're out of palindromes.
That pitch. Man.
He does have a wide strike zone.
Now, see, that one is on the corner of 16th and Imperial.
1 ball, 1 strike. I thought you were going to say you had to find that with radar. It was so far out of the strike zone. Incoming. High fly ball. He just missed that. Pagan with the catch, tagging, but not advancing is Cabrera. 2 away. Our AT&T trivia question was how many different Padre players have hit 20 home runs or more in a season since, what was it, 2008? Mike Cameron, since 2004. Mike Cameron, Ryan Giles, Gonzalez, Green, Headley, Kuzman, Nevin, and Mike Piazza. Carlos Quinton with 2 outs and a man at second. He has singled in a run and scored in the first, and then hit by a pitch. And that apparently evoked a hit batsman as Richard took care of business and nicked Brandon Belt, and they won't hit him this time, or nor will they allow him to hit.
You know, the 20 home run mark, and correct me if I'm wrong, because it's great discussion, I think, but 20 home runs, 25 home runs now, it's more of a legit number. It's not so much, before it was a joke.
You're talking about the
steroid era. Yeah.
And now with the testing, there's no question, but it has impacted power.
Now you hit 20, 25 home runs. That's legit.
Yeah, on that subject, Melky Cabrera, of course, is suspended for the rest of the season because they found testosterone. And that's getting even more complicated. Reports out of New York. The FBI may be involved in examining other issues, as Cabrera and his agents, Melky Cabrera and his agents, may have done some other things to mask the problem. Alonso fouls off the first pitch. Left-hander against left-hander. I'm sure is part of why Bruce Bochy walked Quinton, but Alonso hits left-handers better than right-handers. Two on, 2 out. Padres trying to add to the 3-1 lead. Runner goes. The throw to third. Not in time. Easily stealing third. Cabrera, 21 for 21. Quinton did not go from first base.
Once again, the left-handed hitter, and it looks like Mijares just kind of one-looks the runner at second base. Cabrera, again successful. Pilfering third base.
Had to fight his way through that big left leg of Pablo Sandoval. So first and third now, and the count is 0-2 on Alonso.
Dick, you alluded to the numbers lefty on lefty for Alonso. 274 going to this game versus left-handed pitching for Yonder Alonso. He was up over 300 for a while.
Yes, he was. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Down low. Harris looks like he's got good stuff. his slider, and his fastball's up 93-94. Padres got to start taking advantage of men in scoring position. A lot of base traffic. Ground ball. Oh, another terrific play by Sandoval. Throws low, and it's dug out by Belt. Sandoval saves a run and maybe more. He was robbed earlier by Headley. Terrific play. And it remains 3-1. Unusual today. Very wide, tough to predict, and Chase Headley was struck out twice. Apparently had something more to say between innings, even though Headley in that at bat flied to center field, but he was in the hole because of that first strike way out of the strike zone, and Onora has tossed him. And wisely Glenn Hoffman keeping Headley away from any physical contact. So Onora, that's what happens when you're not good, then you throw somebody else out. It's usually a pattern. And Onora's had a bad day.
Now Logan Forsythe will go in to play third base. And once again, we don't know what was said, what Chase Headley said to the home plate umpire.
But Headley, of all, if you were going to go down the lineup and say, who do you think might get thrown out of a game? Headley would be about the last person you'd pick. Meanwhile, Clayton Richard goes to work here in the fifth, and it's been a frustrating day for the Padres because there's been so many opportunities lost. They've left 8 men on base in 4 innings, many of those in scoring position. Blanco batting for the first time in the pitcher's spot. And then Pagan and Scudero to hit here in the 5th inning for the Giants, who have stayed just 2 runs back. Their run is unearned. High chopper, Amarista. 1 away.
Well, Mark Loretta's down by the dugout, probably the closest to the action down there. Mark, did you hear anything or find anything out?
Didn't hear anything, Mud, but obviously Chase has to run past home plate to get to third base from the first base dugout, and I think made eye contact with Brian. He was pretty hot during that at bat. Didn't show him up though. Kind of just was talking to him without turning his head back, and obviously they got into a little bit there, and frustration is probably on both ends. But Logan Forsythe's in now, and that's what we call the old ambush when you're on the bench and guy gets tossed, your heart rate goes from 70 to 700 in a hurry.
So Forsythe, insert him in the 3rd spot in the batting order in Headley's spot. Broken bat, looper into left, and Quinton can't get there. Pagan has his second hit as he dumps one into left with 1 out. And that brings up Scudero. Only the 4th hit for the Giants. Their run came back in the 2nd and was product of a 2-base error by Venable and Wright, an unearned run. Meanwhile, the Padres have 8 hits, a walk, a hit batsman, 10 base runners in 4 innings, but able to score only 3 runs.
Well, that's the good thing. The good thing is when you look up at the scoreboard, they still lead by 2, and there's still plenty of baseball left. Hopefully they can start bringing around those runners left on base.
But unable to do so, they've kept the Giants close. 1-1 the count. High fly ball center field. Maben. Oh, Richard just throwing an inordinate number of fly ball outs today.
He's up in the zone. Hence the fly ball.
2 gone.
Hey Dick, Jerry Coleman Day's coming up.
Oh, you bet. Scripps Health is going to be sponsoring that. September 15th is the date. You know that we'll be there. The Padres celebrating a legend. 40 years with the Padres, 70 years in baseball, served both in the World War II and Korean War, 120 missions. The man, the Colonel, Jerry Coleman. This place, there are not enough seats here at Petco to honor Jerry Coleman. Make sure you get yours and be there early before the game for the ceremonies. You can get your tickets now, Padres.com, 619-795-5555. Rockies will be the opposition. We show you that portrait of Jerry that's over at the Aeronautical Museum in Balboa Park. By the way, that's a nice stop for you tourists, you folks that are in town. There's so many things to enjoy at Balboa Park, including wonderful theater at the Old Globe. But there's the Hall of Champions with terrific sports memorabilia honoring the greatest athletes in San Diego, the Aeronautical Museum. And Jerry, of course, is a Hall of Famer there, along with many others, including in Cooperstown. The broadcast wing. There goes the runner. Ground ball. Cabrera. Long throw across. Little high, and Alonso has to make the tag. The inning's over. Halfway mark in this one. 3-1 Padres. Leading 3-1 here in the 5th. Meanwhile, in Houston, the Arizona Diamondbacks, Aaron Hill, he homered last night. Enjoyed the feeling, so he hit 2 today as the D-backs crushed the hapless Astros 8-1. 2 home runs from Hill. Amarista, Maben, and Baker for the Padres. in the last of the 5th inning. 3-1, and with the fine glove work of Sandoval robbing Alonso of extra bases in the last inning, Giants stay within 2. The Dodgers have won. Arizona has won. Colorado is losing in the 9th inning 7-3 to Miami. Just following up on Headley's ejection, it's only the 2nd time in his career that he's been kicked out of a game. Last July 4th a year ago, got the heave-ho.
Mark Loretta, did you ever get kicked out of a game?
I never did, Mud.
You're too nice of a guy.
I don't know about that, but
Northwestern training.
I guess. I tried to kill him with kindness.
There you go.
Yeah, it didn't always work.
Hey, Mark, the foul ball has been the theme today. As a hitter, does it wear on you mentally, physically? What's it like? You've been in that position.
No, the opposite, Mud. It actually really locks you in and helps you to concentrate. There isn't too many more things more gratifying than fouling off a bunch of pitches and then finally getting a base hit or a walk. It really feels good.
I could see that. That's battling. You got to be locked in.
Yeah. And even, Cabby's first at bat where he struck out, that was a productive out.
Yeah, and that's...
That ball drilled to right center field, and that's going to go all the way to the fence. Amarista looking for a triple. He sprints around second. The little ninja into third, standing with a triple. That was right down the gap.
Well, does he get a fastball? It's a fastball from Mijares, splitting the gap, and off to the races is the little ninja after swinging the hot katana. He's looking for 3.
He's running to Del Mar. He's got a mount in the 8th. That's his 4th 3-bagger of the season. Here's another chance for the Padres. No one out. The infield will come in. Cameron Maybin is 2 for 2 with a couple of RBIs with the bases loaded single in the 1st inning and a stolen base.
You see Bruce Bochy bringing in the infield. Everybody at the edge of the grass. Something Maybin can get to elevate. There you go.
And he lines a single to left field. He's 3 for 3, and the Padres lead it 4-1 as Amarista checks in. Three hits, 3 RBIs for Cameron Maybin. Amarista sets the table with that triple.
Went down and got it. Elevated with the infielders in.
Now that's just a nice solid stroke, getting over a swing.
Exactly.
Tendency to get that infield in, you think, oh boy, got to power it through there.
All the pressure's on the pitcher, right? As a hitter, we've talked to Mark Loretta about it. We've talked to Mark Sweeney about it. They should have the mindset that, hey, the pressure's on that guy.
Here's Baker. 0 for 2, strikeout and fly to left.
Mark, was that your mindset in a situation like that? Realizing that the pressure is on that guy who's throwing the baseball to you?
Absolutely, good point. You got to let the pitcher come to you in that situation. But you've alluded on it before, Mud. Cam's had some trouble keeping that front shoulder in.
Ground ball right side. Scudero can't hang on. Maybin keeps right on going. So does Baker. 2nd and 3rd, no one out. Scudero making a valiant effort, diving in as he hit the grass, lost control, and actually kicked it far enough away that the runners advanced an extra 90.
I'm thinking that's got to be a double. John Baker has to have credit for a double on that one because Scudero laid out a great effort, and then by him falling to the ground, 1 hopper, 2 hopper. Okay, the ball gets jarred loose because of his fall.
Looked like his knee kicked it out of his glove as he was staggering to maintain his balance. Maybin thinks there's going to be an out at first. Oh, I'll take another 90. And maybe more. So 2nd and 3rd after the triple by Amarista leading off this 5th inning. Maybin singled him home, and now 2nd and 3rd, no one out as the Padres have a chance to really jump into a big lead.
Yeah, you'd like to see the wheels come off here for the Giants here in this bottom half of the 5th.
Well, you know that they've got the power to score a lot of runs. 10 runs Friday night, 8 runs last night. So you want to build that lead. Infield again. Infield tight. Hitter's delight. Clayton Richard a chance to add to that 6 RBI count he has this year. One of the best in baseball for a pitcher. Lefty against lefty. Richard has struck out both times facing Vogelsong. Ooh, that one caught the mask of either the umpire or the catcher.
I think Posey got it.
Is that what you say?
Remember the Bugs Bunny cartoon? You get rattled in the head or something.
That was more of a Daffy Duck kind of
I
guy.
love Daffy Duck.
That's in there. Didn't get the fastball. 1-2. Actually, the Coyote. Not the Coyote, the Roadrunner.
Roadrunner, yeah.
I kind of empathize though with the Coyote. The poor guy always got blown out.
Oh, he's a short end of the stick.
Yeah. Pop back out of play.
Yeah, the Coyote was always getting the anvil in the head or the stick of dynamite or something.
I kind of felt like,
he was back for more, though. He was a gamer.
Yep.
He always came back for more.
Right.
He was not going to give up.
Come to think it, I did love the Coyote. He didn't get enough love. Second and third. No one out. Richard staying alive. 1-2. Oh, curveball. Richard said that's not fair. Pitchers union, we're only supposed to get fastballs. One away. Well, high school football on Fox Sports San Diego, and you're going to see some of the top prep programs in the nation on the big stage Thursday. Interstate rivals from the Buckeye State. Ohio go ahead, head to head. Under lights, Akron, Bucktown, and Massillon High compete. National Football Game of the Week right here on Fox Sports San Diego Thursday night. Top of the order, Everett Cabrera, Mr. Foul Ball, and that's a compliment. 15 foul balls that he's hit in this game, and it did have an influence on how it's developed. Line drive, left field corner. If that's fair, that's more runs. That's a fair ball. 2 more runs will come. Maben and Baker score on a bullet double to left by Everett Cabrera. 6-1. Enough of the foul ball, says Everett. Knocks in his 20th and 21st run of the season.
Padre hitters being aggressive. Cabrera's seen a lot of pitches this afternoon, keeping this one fair. Yeah, the foul ball's been the story, but the extra base hit also in this inning, and the Padres capitalizing, putting up a crooked number here in the bottom of the 5th.
How about Cabrera and Maben? 3 hits apiece. Yeah, how was the last time those two men in the lineup came up with 3 hits in a ball game? In fact, Maben's first 3-hit game in over a month. Last time he came up with 3 hits was against the Astros on July 17th.
Speaking of Houston, how about Houston's magic number being 6?
6 to be eliminated.
Yep,
huh?
on August 19th.
Venable, he could join the 3-hit club. He's 2 for 2 with a sacrifice. Padres have collected 12 hits. They've had base runners every inning. And they've had men in scoring position 4 of the 5 innings that have been played. Sunday run day for the Padres.
That makes it a fun day.
Out of play. Still just 1 out with Cabrera at second base. And the bullpen active as George Cantos up for the 2nd time. And if Majerus is wise, he'll give Cabrera more than 1 look. Although Arias now edging over towards second just to try to keep Cabrera tight. Did he go? Yes. Venable strikes out. Second strikeout from Harris.
Oh, yeah, he went.
So here's Logan Forsythe batting for the first time, and he's going to face Cantos and not Majerus. So the big right-hander comes in from the bullpen, breaking the action here in the 5th inning. 2 outs with the Padres scoring 3 in the frame and lead it 6-1. In the 5th inning, Cameron Maben singled in a run in the 1st inning to give the Padres an early lead, and with the bases loaded, Maben answered with a 2-run single. 3-0 after 1. Giants got an unearned run, a fly ball dropped by Venable, and then the sacrifice fly under Pence, getting Posey home. Great play by Headley. He later, after robbing Pablo Sandoval, would see Sandoval rob the Padres, and then Headley, not liking the calls of plate umpire Brian Onoro. Headley had struck out twice and wasn't happy with the call his 3rd time up when he flied to center field and was tossed for only the 2nd time in his career. And Logan Forsythe replacing him is at bat for the first time with Cabrera at second base. Ground ball to Sandoval. And the inning is over. 1 pitch, 1 out for George Cantos. But the Padres get 3. Amarista triple. And the double by Cabrera knocks in 2. It's 6-1. 6-1 as he seeks his 10th win of the season. He's taking the ball when it's his turn. 173 innings, the most innings pitched this season, ahead of Hamels, Kershaw, Cueto, and Dickey. That's a medal to wear if you're a pitcher.
And coming off arm surgery too, you know. That's the impressive thing about Clayton Richard.
Posey safe on an error and scored the unearned run, the only run for the Giants back in the second. Denied a hit by the reflexes of Richard to get his body in the way of a comebacker and carry him that ball to Amaristo throughout Posey. One of two outstanding defensive plays back to back, turned by the Padre infield in the third, the other by Headley. High. 1-2 the count. And almost caught Posey leaning out looking for something on the outside corner, so he backs him off. Good pitch. Fouled in and out of the glove of Baker.
Frustrating for a catcher because that's a play you can't practice. And as a catcher, you want to pick up your pitcher by holding on to that as best you can. But Buster Posey will get another hack at it.
Fouls it away. So charge Jose Majerus with 3 runs, all earned, and 4 hits in his innings. Fly ball right field, hit well, but Venable there, 1 away. For 3 for Buster Posey. Hunter Pence, sacrifice fly, and a fly ball to left. Thinking about Mark Loretta teaming up Hunter Pence and his young child. Couldn't say Hunter Pence, called him Underpants. That's cute. Fouled at the plate.
Now that is a sweet lid. Yeah, I said it. That's a nice lid. You're welcome. Where'd you get it? Really?
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Clayton Richard, first strikeout of the game. We've been waiting, and so has Quan Casino. The salute. Vacation highlight of the game. And the K there as Richard goes inside for strike 3. 2 out on the 6th. Joaquin Arias has singled and flied to center. That's going to be a base hit. Oh, he swung the bat well in this series. 2 more hits today. He had 3 last night.
Hey, the singles are okay. Give up the singles. You get a grounder. Get out of this inning. Keep the ball in the yard. And you see the breakdown for Clayton. 81 tosses this afternoon.
And he continues to roll along. Remember, the last time he pitched here at Petco against the Cubs, he went 9 innings, a 5-hit shutout. So he's gone 14 2/3 without allowing an earned run.
Clayton the Bull Richard. He's a bull.
Fouled by Belt, who has a single and was hit by a pitch. Just happened to occur an inning or so after Carlos Quentin was hit by a pitch. That's right. Hacker pitched last night. Eric Hacker. Line drive, shortstop Cabrera. The inning's over. They leave 1. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Padres lead by 5. inning. Quinton Vogelsong hits him. Look at the stare by Quinton. Didn't like the fact he was hit in the back. So just happens that Clayton Richard takes care of Belt in the back, actually in the ribs. Look at the tip of the hat from Quinton in left field as if to say, okay, we're even. And plate umpire Onora saying no more of this or we'll have to take some serious action. No problems after. But that's just one of the unwritten laws of baseball. If you really think the other guy's been hit, you got to protect your own team. And as my old pal, colleague Don Drysdale said, I never hit one anyway. They hit themselves, so they could get out of the way.
That's a great story. And you know what? Rick Monday, who does Dodger baseball, I asked Rick about that, about the double D, right? Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that there was always a second part to that story, because everybody knows that, okay, you hit one of my guys, I hit two of yours. Well, Rick Monday told me, he used to say, and you let me know when you've had enough. That Drysdale would say that.
Because he knew he had to come up and take his too.
Exactly.
Justin, check that George Cantos on the mound, and he gets ahead of Quinton 2 strikes. Quinton, Alonso, and Amarista to bat here in the last of the 6th, and the Padres lead at 6-1. Quinton got it started with an RBI single in the first inning, later scored himself. He officially is 1 for 1, hit by a pitch and intentionally walked the last time. Santos making his second appearance in the series. Just his 29th appearance of the season, Santos. Effective middle reliever. High pop-up, middle of the infield. All 4 infielders, but it's the shortstop Arias, the quarterback on that infield, who makes the out. One gone to Yonder Alonso.
He had a hanging breaking ball, and Carlos just kind of worked under it a little bit, and it happens. You get that fat pitch and just that little bit, that little loop, and you'll pop it right out. Nice day for a bike ride, Mr. Enberg. Big league ball game, bike ride.
I'm hoping my wife comes back. She's with Bill Walton, that group. They're up riding 100 miles yesterday, 100 miles today up in San Francisco.
Wow.
Ground ball up the middle by Alonso, who grounded out the last time with the bases loaded. Or grounded out in the second with the bases loaded, and the last time was robbed of a hit by Sandoval with a shot aimed toward left field. 2 outs. And a reminder, college football coming to Fox each week. Aaron Andrews, Eddie George, and Joey Harrington get you ready for the kickoff. Heisman Trophy frontrunner Matt Barkley, and, well, they say third-ranked USC, but they're ranked #1 in some of the polls, take their first step on the road to a national championship as they play Hawaii. The premiere of college football Saturday is September 1st, just around the corner, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on Fox. Alexi Amarista has walked, struck out, and tripled the last time. And that set the fuse on a 3-run 5th inning to build the lead to 6-1. One and one to Amarista. Tomorrow night, first of 3 with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Eddie Volquez gets the start for the Padres. 6 o'clock for Padres Live here on Fox Sports San Diego. A 7 o'clock start. Wandy Rodriguez, the former Houston hurler, will be on the mound for Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh and St. Louis in a marathon game in St. Louis. They're in the 14th inning.
Good. Blow out that bullpen, right, for the Buccos before they come to town?
Challenge them, huh?
Yeah. Wear out that pen.
One ball, 2 strikes on Amarista. Walk, strikeout, and that triple. Another souvenir. Pittsburgh in a bit of a slump, as the Padres, remember, went in, took 2 out of 3, and then they lost a couple others. They've only won 3 of their last 10, so they've fallen 6.5 behind Cincinnati. And a swing and a miss. Santos retires the Padres in order. That's the first time that's occurred today.
San Diego over the Giants right now, top of the 7th inning. Getting a lot of offensive help for sure. Cameron Maven, the threes are wild for this guy today. He is 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs. He will be leading off the 7th, so we'll hope he can throw a 4 in there, but he's throwing up the crooked numbers for sure, helping your Padres to this 5-run lead. As I mentioned, the score right now, 6-1, top of the 7th. Come up in the postgame show. We'll talk about the offensive explosion and check in on Clayton Richards' performance, which to this point has been rock solid, and you'll hear from the manager, Buddy Black, guys.
All right, Michael, as Richard indeed going for 4 straight wins here at home, and Ryan Theriot, who has just ripped apart Padre pitching this year. Pinch hit last night. He's 16 for 29. It's about 550 for Theriot against Padre pitching. Hitting for the pitcher George Cantos, who works just the 1 inning. 2-1. Clayton scattering 5 hits, the only run unearned. That's in there. Blanco and then Pagan to follow. Pagan and Arias each with 2 hits. Belt the other, 5 hits allowed. Pops him up. Angling behind first baseman Alonso as Amarista almost overran it. Tough play. Gregor Blanco is the batter.
Tough play with the sun. And always the best angle for that second baseman. You can see that Alonso was peeling off there. Amarista taking charge. Big out for Clayton Richard.
It's a feel-good game for the Padres. Good pitching, good defense. 12-hit attack, 6 runs. Smothered to the mound. Richard sidearms the throw. 2 away. Blanco a quick out.
Now he's getting some grounders, huh? That ground ball at the bat of Blanco, the pop-up off the bat of Theriot. But you're right, though, Dick. A lot of fly balls. The key, he's kept them in the yard.
That's right. Only 6 ground outs for the man who leads the majors in ground ball outs. But an out is an out is an out, as Shakespeare said.
Got that right. Good old Bill.
Yeah. The Bard. Leadoff hitter Angel Pagan. What is it about Sundays? Why are we so silly on Sundays?
It's all about having a good time. We're at the yard talking baseball.
It's a picnic. Huh?
Yeah.
Pagan singles the last 2 times. 2 for 3. Switch hitting center fielder. Javier Lopez, the left-hander in the bullpen for San Francisco. Off the head of the bat, cued foul. Yeah, it's an exciting time for Clayton Richard. Trying to find the ball, those fans. Where did that go? I know it's in there somewhere. Where did that wind up? Somebody's basket. Clayton's wife Ashley ever closer to delivering their first child next month. Ashley, quite an athlete herself, a volleyball player, went to the University of Michigan. That's on the inside corner all day. He raised up as if he's going to punch him out. That was a pitch that was called a strike against Headley, 2 different at bats. Foul back by Pagan. It's all right to be inconsistent, I guess. I'm sorry.
No,
he's not had a good day.
I'm glad you said that because I'm referring to myself. It's good to be inconsistent. I've been inconsistent my whole life, and that's good to hear.
Fly ball.
That just validates.
Tough chance. Foul territory. Watch out. Did Amarista catch that?
The Ninja!
Oh, my. What a play. That was headed to a 3-man collision as Alonso, Amarista, and Venable there. And what a play. Acrobatic Ninja. Stood and heard and sang in unison, God Bless America. Now take me out to the ball game. And the ball yard that Tony Gwynn, his presence out there, let's go through. And Amarista, look at this. He picks up the ball, makes sure no one's going to hit. No, and Venable's right there. The bullpen, the mounds. Now that is a very difficult challenge. What a catch by Amarista. He's made a couple of dandies today.
And he's the ninja. He comes out of nowhere. You can't see him.
So, last of the 7th inning. And another pitcher for Bruce Bochy. Javier Lopez had been warming up. He comes in. Santos goes 1 inning, retires the side in order. The only pitcher to do that for San Francisco. Vogelsong, Mejeras, Santos, and now Javier Lopez.
Well, Javier Lopez is a left-handed specialist out of the bullpen for the Giants. Also, he can close as well. It's one of the luxuries that Bruce Bochy has. There's maybe I want to say a handful of pitchers out there that can't close, but now he needs outs as they trail by 5 here going to the bottom of the 7th.
Attendance today 28,605. Good turnout. A lot of San Francisco fans enjoying our great climate and beautiful ballpark are here as well. 106,000 for the 3-game series.
Nice. The Friars happy about it.
That means checks in the mail,
Yeah,
huh?
that's right.
Friars got heat too. Lopez to face Maben, Baker, and Richard. And Cameron Maben having quite a day. 3 for 3 and 3 runs batted in. Get his bat going like this, and things are going to be very interesting for the Padres. Been struggling down in the 210 to 215 range, and with his 3 for 3 today, has reached to 218. Foul at the plate. Now the Padres and the Pirates. Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon. Good seats available tomorrow night. Edison Volquez trying to get back on course against Wandy Rodriguez of the Bucks. Marquis and A.J. Burnett, 15-4 Burnett on Tuesday night.
Meanwhile, on the banks of the Mississippi, into the 15th inning, Pirates Cardinals tied at 2.
One ball, 2 strikes the count. There's Eddie. We need to get him going tomorrow. Get a nice 7 innings out of Volquez. Ground ball right side. He's 4 for 4. Have yourself a Sunday, Cameron Maben.
And using the whole field. First at bat, center of the diamond. Second at bat, pulled it to left field. Same thing in his third, and going the opposite way with the big hole on the right side. They're playing him to pull a little bit. Shortens up nicely. Perfectly placed by Cameron Maben. All right, 4 for 4 has a nice ring to it.
That'll get him up to that 220 mark. John Baker had that double off the glove of Scudero at second base the last time. The last time Maben collected 4 hits in a game was against his former teammates in Florida last year. He's now collected 4 hits in a game 5 times in his career. So a special day for Cameron Maben. That announcement being made on the intercom here on the press level that ties his career high, 4 hits. Breaking ball hangs inside. 1-2 to Baker. Again, if you're just joining us, the Dodgers won a shutout at Atlanta 5-0. Chad Billingsley. Giants and Dodgers separated by only a half game at the start with San Francisco on top. High fly ball. Left center field. A long run for center fielder Pagan, but he gives in to Gregor Blanco. Blanco with a catch. 1 away. Well, tomorrow on Fox Sports San Diego, you can catch Padres Weekly. Annie Heilbrunn will take an inside look at the Padres as they make their moves here in August and September. Players, coaches, staff, local legends. You'll get it all. Padres Weekly has you covered tomorrow, 5:30 on Fox Sports San Diego. And then at 6 o'clock, the Padres pregame show. For the 7 o'clock game, Volquez and Rodriguez to pitch. The bunt by Richard, and he has the sacrifice 1-4. Moves Maben into scoring position for Everett Cabrera, who has a 3 for 4 game going.
You know, the mentality for the Padres in this game, and it's been like that, especially recently, but to add on. Even though they're leading by 5, 6-1, the key is to add on. Get that runner home, Cameron Maven, with 2 outs.
Burra batting right-handed, doubled his last time, knocked in 2. Can't help to reflect on his very first at bat, first man to hit against Ryan Vogelsong, and he kept fouling off, fouling off, fouling off. 13 pitch at bat before he struck out to start the game. And it's almost as if Vogelsong never recovered from that. Padres got 3 runs in the first inning off Vogelsong, and they had men in scoring position in all 3 innings that he pitched. And when he gave up the leadoff single to Cabrera in the 4th inning, that was it for Vogelsong. 96 pitches in 3 innings plus. 1 ball, 1 strike. They've been ready to roll out there at second base. Six runs, 13 hits for the Padres. 1 unearned run, 5 hits for the men from San Francisco, who will then go to Los Angeles. A 3-game series. A battle for first place starts tomorrow night at Dodger Stadium. Weak wave there, tried to check. 2-2. Hacker again throwing in the bullpen for the Giants. Top of the 8th inning, it'll be Scudero, Sandoval, and Posey to bat against Clayton Richard.
Hacker's throwing a no-hitter down there in that bullpen.
That's supposed to say no-hitter. Jinx him. Struck him out. Well, the Padres leave a man, 10 left on base in the game, but 6-1 San Diego. Well, Clayton Richard, another beauty. 3 in a row that he has pitched here at Petco, helped out by the defense. There's Headley, and then the carom to Amarista, who does the full circle throw to get Posey. He's had only 1 strikeout, and now goes to work in the 8th inning, his 85th pitch, so it's been an economic effort. Scudero has flied out all 3 times.
And only 1 inning, Dick, where he could have ran into trouble. Remember, it was that leadoff error in the 2nd inning. The Giants scored their lone run this afternoon. A couple of singles.
Ground ball foul. Going back to his Petco on August 3rd against the Mets, he went 7 innings, allowed only 1 run. Then his next outing here at Petco was against the Cubs, a complete game shutout, and now 1 unearned run in this game today. So he just has been not just good, outstanding here at home.
And no walks this afternoon.
Fly ball Posey high into left center. That'll give Maben time to jog over and grab the out. Scudero, 3 flyouts to Maben and a fly ball out to right fielder Venable.
And the hits this afternoon by the Giants, all singles.
Interesting. At home, he's 6-4, a 3.05 ERA. On the road, he's 3-8. Why is it there's such a dramatic difference? He's just mighty comfortable on that slab here at Petco. Sandoval fouls it away. He's flied to right. You saw Headley take a base hit away from him with that diving play and grounded to short the last time. High fly ball to left. Quinton. Another fly ball out. This is so unusual for Clayton Richard, the ground ball pitcher. One fly ball after another, but they're right into the gloves of the Padres. Friday, Fox Sports San Diego. Catch a new episode of Padres POV. Join the crew for an up close and personal look at the Padres. POV new episode Friday 5:30 on Fox Sports San Diego, presented by Sequan Casino. And that'll be just before the first game of the weekend series on Friday that'll begin in Arizona. Posey fouls it at the plate. Safe on the two-base error when Venable dropped his fly ball in the second. Came around to score on Pence's sacrifice fly, the only Giant run. Denied a hit on that shot back to the middle that Richard caromed to Amarista, who made a spinning throw to get him, and he lined out to right field the last time. Amarista's had himself a nice game. Two good defensive plays and a big triple. That ball, if it's fair, is a goner, but it's way foul. That way 12 feet.
Strike two.
Posey, in case you're wondering, leads San Francisco in all the offensive categories with Melky gone. 333 average, 19 homers, 77 runs batted in. I mean, he's going to be flirting for MVP votes every year.
Oh.
Ball. Now, see, this is the point here that Honora, that may not have been a strike, but he's been calling pitches wider than that strikes.
Mm-hmm.
That almost tickled the outside corner. Chopped. Tough play. Let it go. Let it go. That's right. Listen, we can coach a little bit.
Great minds think alike.
Hubba, hubba.
That ball had that rotation on it to where on the second or third bounce it's going to take a direct bounce. Let it go. Let it go. There you go.
I'm sure we weren't the only ones helping out Clayton Richard. That would have been a sure base hit if fair. So Posey comes back 2-2, the count on him. Padre fans enjoying the fact that San Diego with a 6-1 lead. That's kept the Giants fans quiet, a little high, and the count 3-2. Two outs, top of the eighth, base is empty. Hey, that's a good advertisement. Junior Padres, we love you, and they're going to be on the field after the game.
That's right,
remember?
the hitting clinic, right?
They're going to have a batting clinic. Ground ball to third. Forsythe bobbles, recovers, throws deep, and dug out by Yonder Alonso. Good play on both ends, and the Giants go in order in the eighth inning. By Petco, where the healthy pets go. Well, the Midway aircraft carrier, now a tourist site here in San Diego. Over 1 million in the last 12 months visiting the aircraft carrier. It's a great afternoon or morning for you and your family to see how incredible these ships are. You know, accommodating 5,000. It's a
city.
It's 5 times bigger than the one I grew up in.
Yeah, it's a little city on the water. Absolutely.
And it's being operated by great men, but the young kids, you know, they're 18, 19, 20, and the, you know, talk about the teamwork on a carrier to land the plane to make sure life is safe and well directed. Eric Hacker just called up from the minors. This is only his 3rd game. Will Venable has a couple of hits. 2 for 3. 3 hits for Cabrera, 2 for Venable. Quinton 1, Alonso 1, Amarista triple, 4 hits for Maven, double for Baker. 13 total. Hacker pitched last night, ending in 2/3, allowed 1 run. And Venable may have taken this one downtown. Touch 'em all. Number 8 for Will Venable, and the Padres add on. It's 7-1.
Hitters count for Will Venable. It was 2-0. Eric Hacker tries to throw the fastball by him, and Will Venable leans on this one, no doubt about it. And as you mentioned, Dick, it's a good thing. Late adding on. Now 7-1.
The fan made a good play there in the aisle. So Venable, 8 home runs on the season. When you see him make swings like he has today, you just say, oh, he looks like a guy that should be hitting 280, 290 with 15, 20 home runs. Logan Forsythe hitting in Chase Headley's spot. Headley ejected from the game, arguing with plate umpire Onora. And Forsythe now is 0 for 2. He had grounded to third the first time. Brings up Carlos Quinton. Quinton, an RBI single, hit by a pitch, walked intentionally, and popped to short.
Good afternoon for the boys. It's nice to see those crooked numbers in the 1st and the 5th.
And the Padres absorbed a 10-1 loss on Friday night. They didn't quite get all of that. Pagan near the track in left center for the 2nd out. Brings up Yonder Alonso. Single and 3 groundouts for the Padre first baseman. Last time up, or 2 times ago, he sent a sharp ground ball with runners in scoring position toward the left field corner, and Pablo Sandoval diving and made a great stop, through him out. Last 20 games hitting .351. Alonso takes strike 1. And among major league rookies, he's tied for 2nd most hits with 114. Mike Trout, sensational rookie with the Angels, far and away, 136 hits.
I think you can already, engrave that trophy, can't you?
Yeah, it's the Rookie of the Year American League.
Yeah.
Put Trout on there. Go fishing.
That'd be a great trophy, like stuff a trout and put it on there. How often that'd be awesome.
Oh, I'm sure he'd love that.
Yeah.
Probably never heard that making fun of his surname. No. But if you really wanted to upset, you put a salmon there or something like that.
We get Tim Salmon to do that.
Yeah. Angel. 2 balls and a strike to Alonso. Broken bat looper, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Second hit for Alonso. He'll, as you say, sacrifice that bat for the wood pile.
That bat will die happy. You hear a snap, crackle, pop all the way up here in the press box. It looks like the recruits are going to head home, and we wish them well.
Brings up Amarista. Walked, struck out, tripled and scored, and struck out. And good luck to you, men and women. Thank you for joining us today. You make these Sundays special. Amarista lifts that one foul down the third base side. St. Louis batting in the bottom of the 16th inning, still tied at 2 against Pittsburgh. So the Pirates, long overtime game. Then have to get on a plane. They'll arrive here late tonight in San Diego. And that bullpen has been tested in St. Louis. Two balls and a strike to Amarista. A couple of outstanding defensive plays as well as that key triple that kicked off the 3-run 5th inning. Took the game from 3-1 to 6-1. And another base hit for Amarista. Alonso pulls up at second. With 2 out, Cameron Maben with a chance to go 5 for 5 for the first time in his career. And our Carl Jr. star of the game, Cameron Maben. He has used all field. That's his 2-run single in the first. Followed it with a single to left. An RBI single to left. And a ground single to right field. 4 for 4. Equaling his career best, but he's got a chance to go 5 for 5, and you don't see many times during a whole season a hitter go 5 for 5.
Yeah, also driving in another run with that runner in scoring position being Yonder Alonso.
So 2 on, 2 out. The Padres have added with a home run by Venable here in the 8th inning. Our Padres top hitter is Maben, and he loops that one. That could be now. Belt's got a beat on it and in foul territory. So much for 5 for 5. But the Padres get the home run from Venable, and it's 7-1. Hey, Bill, Craig, and Robbie, our geniuses in the edit room, putting together the highlights. You know, in the old days, you used to go the movie. I guess you still have the previews. In fact, there are more previews now than ever. You know, but they used to be shorter clips than now. And these are kind of the post views that those guys work on, to take the highlights and melt them together and give you a feeling for what the game is all about.
They do a great job of telling the story up to this point. We're lucky to have them.
And there's Corey Burns as Clayton Richards' day is through. 8 innings and 1 unearned run allowed by the left-hander. Burns trying to finish the deal, and the first pitch to Hunter Spence is a strike. Spence, Arias, and Belt for the Giants, with the Padres leading 7-1 here in the top of the 9th inning.
Well, a lot of changeups from Corey Burns. Changeup, maybe mixing in a fastball. But when we talk about pitching backwards, seems like that's the game plan for Burns.
He's got that Mater D delivery. Turns his back and then takes the tip. Pence rips one into left to greet Burns with a solid double. These Giants can score. So beware, even though the Padres have a 6-run lead.
Yeah, I was just going to mention, even though with the 6-run lead, it's always important to get that lead off hitter and get that big out.
He roped that shot to left field. Had a double last night over Venable's head in right field.
Houston Street having a chat with Phil Plantier.
We hear that Street said that he's feeling, all of a sudden, the last 48 hours, he's feeling much better.
Really?
That's good news.
That's good, yeah.
Calf injury. Padre closer. Strike to Arias, who's 2 for 3 today after going 3 for 5 last night with a home run. Fly ball, shortstop Cabrera. Saw a fly ball behind short, 1 away.
Really hard to stay back on that changeup from Burns. Gotta let that ball travel. We talked about that quite a bit as well. And watch Arias as he kind of reaches out for it, all upper body, all arms. No oomph behind it. Off the end of the bat for the easy fly ball.
Brandon Belt is 1 for 2. Single for his hit, and then he was hit by Clayton Richard, who didn't walk a man in his 8 innings. 1 run, unearned, 5 hits, no walks, 1 hit batsman, and 1 strikeout for Richard. Tough time of the day here. San Diego after 4 o'clock with the shadows from one of the towers going right through the batter's box. And he looks out at bright sunshine as that ball travels through the shadow.
Yeah, there's a Trevor Hoffman fan.
Tough to follow. Not tough to follow Hoffman, but tough to follow the ball. There you see.
Yep. Looks like a big waffle.
Everything's food with you. Swing and a miss. That's why that changeup, especially with the shadows, even more effective.
Not only the lack of speed, the arm action, the lack of speed, but the movement. That ball dropping right off the table.
2 balls and a strike. High fly ball, shallow right center, falling in a hurry and drops. Pence will hustle over to third on the bloop single by Belt, his second hit. 2 on with 1 out. And the pitcher spot due, but Black a little nervous stroll in the Padre dugout as Hector Sanchez is introduced into the game.
You know, it's one thing throwing up a fat pitch and having a guy rifle one into the gap or hitting one out of the ballpark, but it's frustrating when you throw a good quality pitch off the end of the bat and it just dumps in there to shallow right center field for the knock.
So first and third for the Giants here in the ninth with one out. And Sanchez, the batter.
It's a great pitch.
It's hitting 283 from the left side as our Marines head back to Camp Pendleton. Hopefully their experience at Petco brightening a day. Now back to the hard work. Swing and a miss. One after ball one. Another changeup. Just in case. Luke Gregerson. Now the gray beard in the bullpen. It's Luke and 6 rooks. Gregerson's only 28.
Yeah. Nice block. Beautiful.
He had to smother that with his whole body, Baker. A ball, 2 strikes on Sanchez. A couple of home runs for Sanchez this year. Runner goes from first, not held down. Strike 3. Another changeup. 2 outs. Runners now at second and third. Defensive indifference moving Belt to second.
You know, talk about the curveball dropping off the table. How about the changeup from Burns? It's got the same action of dropping off the table.
Sanchez not happy with his effort as he hustles down the tunnel, and you can imagine what's going to happen to that bat. Blanco hitting in the 9th spot. Hit back to the box, his only at bat. Second and third, 2 outs. The Giants down to their final out. And the fastball is outside, ball 1. Trying to close the deal. 7-1 Padres here in the 9th. Torrey Burns. Acquired from Cleveland for Aaron Cunningham. 2-0. Pence at third. Belt at second. Change up.
Great pitch.
I think that's really the pitch du jour with these conditions. It really is tough to see with good arm action. That ball coming out of the sunlight in the last 15 feet in the shadows. Strike 2.
Yeah, Corey Burns reminds me of old. Remember Doug Jones? Doug Jones, closer with the Houston Astros, pitched for the Brewers a little bit. Change up, change up, change up, change up. You just turn that ball over and make the hitters look silly.
A strike away from a hard-earned win. The Padres certainly needed one. It lost 5 in a row. Struck him out, and the Padres win it 7-1. Well, the Padres were all good. Pitching, hitting, defense today, Mike Pomerantz.
Snapping a 5-game losing streak. Great day to do it on this Military Appreciation Day on a Sunday. When we come back on the post-game show, we're going to talk about how this offense had exploded today. Mark Loretta's with me. Make sure you join us for that. Clayton Richard responds. You'll hear from Buddy Black and some highlights around the league.